Good morning, Rabotai. We'll go back to discussing the halachot of Kriyat HaTorah that the Shulchan Aruch starts in Siman Kuf Lamed Hey. He writes like this: B'Sheni v'Chamishi on Monday and Thursday, which happens to be today's Monday. We just finished reading the Torah, and then Shabbat b'Mincha Korin Shlosha. We read 3 aliyot. En pochatim mehen, ben mosifim alehem. We don't go less. We don't do more. This is based on the Gemara Masechet Megillah. We never add or minus less than 3 or more than 3 on Monday and Thursday, on a regular Monday and Thursday, and by Shabbat b'Mincha. Ve'en maftirim v'navim. We don't do HaTorah either. Now, the reason why we don't add more than 3 aliyot on Monday and Thursday is because people need to get to work, bitul melacha, and therefore we don't do musafim, which we do. We have the minhag to do it on Shabbat, but during the week we don't have haftarah, we don't do maftir, we also don't add more than 3 aliyot because of that reason. We just do the minimum. The minimum is 3 aliyot. Kohen, Levi, Yisrael. Okay. Now the Rama writes, if there's 2 chatanim in the Bet HaKnesset, you could be mosif to put a 4th aliyah. That's the chidush of the Rama, because he says it's like a Yom Tov, and it's because the day we know that the day of a marriage for someone, or the 7 days after, it's like a Yom Tov. So maybe if it's like Yom Tov and Yom Tov you're allowed to add, so it's like a Yom Tov, and you can add a 4th aliyah. The Mishnah Berurah over here says the minhag is not like this. The Achronim write that in Noagin came, and for sure by a Baal Brit and stuff like that, we don't have this halacha. So the question, same thing in the Bedek Habayit, the Shulchan Aruch writes that we also are not noheg to add aliyot on Monday and Thursday, even for chatanim, and that's also the opinion of the Mishnah Berurah. So ben Sfaradim and Ashkenazim, we never add more than 3 aliyot, no matter what. Now, what happens in a scenario where you have 2 smachot in the Bet Knesset on the same day? You have 2 people making a brit. You have 2 people, chatan and you have a chatan, and you have also a Baal Brit, and you want to be mechaber both of them. So in that scenario, Chama Vadia discusses this. And he says, we never add more than 3, but you could ask the Kohen to be mochel in his kavod, not to go up first, in order for both the chatanim or the 2 Baal Brit to get an aliyah, and the Sheikh Tzibur will say, Afa pi sheyesh kan kohen, ya'amod Yisrael b'mkom kohen. That's one option. It's even better if you would ask the Kohen to leave the premises, leave the room during the Aliyah, in order not to be choshesh for the pigam of the Kohen.
He has to leave because they say it looks like that he doesn't have to leave.
No, he doesn't have to leave. He doesn't have to leave. But in order to get all the Yotzei Kol HaDeot, Chama Vadia brings down, it's better if the Kohen leaves, and then there's no chashash of a pigam. Maybe someone didn't hear him saying Afa pi sheyesh kan kohen. They're going to think the Kohen has something wrong with him. So we're choshesh for the pigam of Kohen. But that technically you can ask the Kohen if he doesn't mind to be mochel in his kavod, even though he gets the aliyah, he's first. You can ask him to be mochel in the kavod because we have a bunch of smachot today, and the Kohen either can be mochel and stay in the room, or even better if he leaves the room, and that will be the scenario. And that would be the bottom line is we never add more than 3 on a Monday and Thursday, on a regular Monday and Thursday, and by Shabbat b'Mincha. Good morning, Rabotai. Continuing from where we left off yesterday in Siman Kuf Lamed Hey, regarding the halachot of reading the Torah. So we have, famously everybody knows, that even though we read on Shabbat by Mincha and we read on Monday and Thursday, we don't continue. Let's say for example Shabbat by Mincha, we'll read the first aliyah, and then on Monday we'll read the second, and then on Thursday we'll read the third, and then Shabbat will start from the 4th. We don't do that. We always begin back from the beginning, meaning Shabbat by Mincha will start from the beginning of the parasha, and we'll read usually the first aliyah. Then by Monday we'll read again the first aliyah, and then on Thursday we'll read again the first aliyah. On Shabbat we will also begin from the beginning once again. That's a halacha based on the Gemara in Masechet Megillah, which says that the place that we start on Shabbat in the morning, that we stop on Shabbat the previous Shabbat, that's where we're going to continue Monday and Thursday, and Monday and Thursday Shabbat b'Mincha, and then that's when you're going to start from the next Shabbat. Okay, in Siv Gimel the Shulchan Aruch writes that a Kohen goes first, then Levi, and then Yisrael. Why is this the order? As the Mishnah Berurah brings down, it says Vikidashto, that you should make the Kohen holy, and that means that the Chachamim say that he is always Poteach Barishon, right? He always gets the first choice. We know if we have by Birkat Hamazon, we mechabed the Kohen or the Levi if there's no Kohen, right? And also for getting Aliyah, since he has this idea of Vikidashto, we allow him to take first. We spoke about yesterday in a scenario where you have 2 smachot, but in general the Kohen is first, then the Levi, and then the Yisrael. The Shulchan Aruch writes in Sif Dalit that the Minhag Pashut, even if the Kohen is a Amma Aretz, even if the Kohen is not a learned person, he is going to go before a Chacham and a Gadol Yisrael. Even if you have a Chacham and who a wise person who is Yisrael, but and you have a Kohen that's not such a wise person, he's just a regular person, is an Am Haaretz. Even in that scenario, you're going to put the Kohen first and then the Yisrael. That's the idea. We always give the Yisrael precedence. Again, there are certain scenarios where he could be mochel on his kavod, but in general, we give the Kohen the ability to go first.